Morning, Professor. This is Girish, and I'm going to discuss the art and science of employer branding. And just imagine a world where top talent chooses a company before they even post a job. So today we are going to decode how we can make this a reality. And this idea of fascination came uh, when I was leading data science teams back in UK, where we struggle to hire reinforcement learning engineers, even though we are offering up market rate salaries and all. Then what we did is that we crafted a story how this role is going to bring an impact on the autonomy they get in this role. That's when the resume started pouring in. And so first, we'll confront the global talent shortage, then explore the qualitative pillars that brings life into a brand. Next, quantify these effects with meta-analysis and platform data. Integrate the findings into a practical playbook. Then address the research gaps, and finally, crystallize takeaways which we can act on. So first, the introduction. So as I said, like the employer branding, it was in like according to Pond Ferry, by 2030, there will be like 85 million worker deficit in highly skilled roles. Just picture 85 million vacant chairs or empty vacant roles, which means it's a uh, tremendous amount of loss of innovation and revenue as well. And and in terms of employer branding, like it was coined by Ambler and Barrow. What they say is it's a functional, economic, and physiological benefit identified along with employment. Unlike corporate branding, which focuses or attracts customers or consumers, employer branding like who's and sustains internal human capital, like attracts the employees and the problem statement. Like many firms still treat employer branding as a glossy collateral, but the research shows that like misaligned promises breed cynicism, like sending candidates to competitors with a single click. Our mission is to equip the employer with evidence-backed strategies to cut through the noise. And this thesis statement argues that the authentic value aligned employer branding works as a credible signal, like it's shrinking information asymmetry and fostering identity congruence, like two levers that decisively tilt attraction in the employer favor. And to dissect this further, like first I would like to make some qualitative analysis. The qualitative analysis is subdivided into four pillars. Among the main primary pillar is the organizational culture. So it's explained through Google's project Aristotle, which uncovered that physiological safety, the freedom to take risk without fear, outranks perks or pay in predicting team excellence. When candidates sense the safety through blog posts, interview questions, or office design, uncertainty plummets and applications soar. Next, storytelling and symbolism is second pillar. So this can be explained to Microsoft annual hackathon event, which isn't just an event, but it's a story factor where employees vlog prototypes that morph into YouTube inspirational reels. And also symbols like Patagonia's pledge to the planet, etched on conference room walls. These all codify purpose in rich, shareable metaphors. Next pillar is the leadership credibility. The Elderman data shows that like 77% of candidates trust my employer CEO more than politicians or media. So transparent AMAs and genuine CEO activism force a halo that envelopes a recruiting decision. Next pillar is the employee advocacy. So Gen Z spends around 4 hours daily on TikTok. So day in the life clips featuring authentic or messy dishes, which outperform polished commercials. Like it's all unscripted voices, but these turn employees into micro influencers, like delivering peer-to-peer validation. This all act as an campaign which can't even the paid ads can't give the same replica of them. So in summary, like when culture stories, leaders and advocates harmonize, or like when that organization have all this together, they produce a brand symphony. Like that's impossible to fake. And next, let's see this using some finding. So first, authenticity imperative. It's a cross-case review of 32 ethnographic studies, which yields one truth. Like narrative authenticity outranks narrative polish. Scholars dub misalignment brand schizophrenia, uh, mm, like like they dub this. Uber's 2017 culture scandal is best example. Like it slashed its offer acceptance rate by 33%, even though they're paying hefty salaries or sign-on bonuses and all those stuff. Next finding was the genetic uh, gene and tech. Like they invite scientists to their family panels, like turning lab work into living stories of impact. Like post-event service always like shows that like 28% jump in offer acceptance among the attendees. This authentic immersion, like not just like brochure or anything, these drive the gains. And the key mechanism behind this, the finding is that like authentic stories always trigger effective trust, which is like a visceral sense that these are my people. Like and in recruitment funnels, effective trust predicts both application completion and first year retention are more stronger than competition in high demand fields. And next, let's see the quantitative analysis using meta-analytic effects. So for that, uh, it's an aggregated data of like 15 peer-reviewed studies, which are correcting for sampling error and measurement unreliability with Hunter's Mish procedures. But the random effects models was added for the generalizability. And then the weighted correlation between employer brand strength and applicant attraction is around 0.42. Uh, the standard deviation, which is like a large effect according to Cohen. Branding alone explains like 18% of applicants' decision, like eclipsing location, title, and sometimes even salary. No. And just now to get a practical implication, to practical experience, like just picture 10,000 career-based visitors and baseline 5% application rate. Now, a small standard deviation lifted by brand raises this, uh, just imagine raises this to 7%. Now, what happens? It yields 200 additional qualified applicants, like without spending any extra penny on it. Now, the credibility check, like for example, the content intervals, if we tighten them to like point 4, this indicates the stability. Like the moderator test showed variation stems mostly from measurement method. Like it's not industry, but it boosts confidence and affects transfer broadly. So this now let's see a different quantitative analysis like the field test and big data test. So based on University of Michigan study, two groups viewed identical job description, like which are just differing only in EVP clarity. Now, the high clarity group reported that they have 2.5 higher application intent and the applicants spend around 30%, 37% longer time compared to the other group. This is the behavioral proof we are looking at. Now, if we perform like if we check the platform A and B testing, it like the LinkedIn tested rich live at modules across 120 tech firms. And what they found out after 6 months that cost per hire was down by 47%, and time to fill also shortened by around 9 days. And CFOs and everyone loved these numbers, obviously. And if we check the big data insights, And based on Mosley's research, it showed like a 5-year Glassdoor panel of 2,500 firms shows quartile brand enjoyed 34% higher applicant volume, even after adjusting for pay and employment rates, unemployment rates, and all those stuff. So the implication was that is that these causal designs answer the boardroom perennial questions like will branding, investment pays off, and all those stuff. So by these evidences, we can say yes in terms of effectiveness and efficiency, both combined. Now, I'm going to discuss about the integrated insights. Uh, so, so building on these points, like the insider narrative serve as low cost, high credibility, like it's signal like it reduces information asymmetry, like Candace treats clarity as a proxy for transparency and identify matching. Like social identity theory shows that messaging aligning with personal values like sustainability. This all elevates perceived fit and predicting offer acceptance and first year engagement. And for the synergy, like narrative richness would be the amplifier and data clarity is the equalizer. Now together they deliver a high fidelity brand experience, but if we remove one of them, the signal distorts and it creates this, it's either fuzzy or sterile and it's no longer useful for us. And practical takeaways was that brands must pair resonant stories with hard metrics like DEA ratios, promotion rates, like so these satisfy emotional and both and analytical processing rules as well. And now let's discuss mediators and moderators. So the mediators and moderators. So who are they? Like the Randstad's 2023 panel shows a 1 sigma drop in unemployment boost brand elasticity by 35%. Like it's like scarcity heightens reliance on symbolic cues. It's like a labor market tightness. And the reputation halo now. The cable and turbine found strong corporate reputation, multiplies like the branding gains, like admired firms always reap these the rewards. And the authenticity gaps, like Mosley's longitudinal study revealed, promise reality mismatches cause a fall in applicant volume. Like candidates have sharp detectors for it. And the demographic audience, like so Deloitte's Gen Z survey found that 60% would reject offers from firms lacking social impact commitments even for higher pay. And the final was that like statistical mediation confirms that brand image, trust, perceived fit, application intention, this all validated across like 6 samples. And that limitations and challenges in this domain were that many studies rely on self-reported attraction, like which are subjected to desirability bias. Maybe prosperous firms can simply afford better branding. Longitudinal and IV designs can untangle this. And sampling limits like the data skews urban and white collar, like blue collar and emerging market context, like these all remain under research, perhaps masking unique drivers. And the measurement issues we see here are like we lack a universal employer brand index. Like the current metrics just deals with Glassdoor scores or survey scales and web analytics inconsistently. So in the future, we need like a standardized metrics like a global score uh, and a diversified sample data set and using quasi experimental designs to strengthen causality. And the practical implications here are run pulse surveys like stay interviews and culture workshops like the mirror tracks here fix culture before polishing brand. narrative plus analytic infusion, like paid human stories, like day in the life videos with dashboards showing promotion velocity, like how fast a junior level transition into senior level roles, or pay equity and attrition trends. Transparency is the key point, like it builds credibility. Channel strategy, like match content to audience, like TikTok for early career talent, or LinkedIn thought leadership for senior hires. And uh, like these kind of programs, like depending on the audience. Brand dashboards, like track cost per hire, or time to fill in a role, specific role, or quality of hire and sentiment indices. Like Atlassian's overhaul experiments, eh, like it's saved around like $4.4 million yearly. It's a proof that dashboards convert brand equity into profit and loss impact. And for the implementation part, like the employer can conduct a pilot program or A/B testing, and which means like doing this yield what and iterate through this again and again. So employer branding is a agile thing. It's not like one time billboard. And what are the future research directions? Like longitudinal experiments, these follow candidate cohorts across hiring cycles to measure sustained brand effects on retention and performance. And cross-cultural studies, like these test how collectivist versus individualist cultures interpret brand signal. Like what resonates in Japan may not resonate in Brazil. Like the culture thing is can't be used as a generalized topic. It needs to be have a specific formula in that. Next, the technological frontier, like the VR office tools or AI customized career pages and chatbot interviews. These all present like the new modalities. And the final one is the neuroscience and biometrics research. Like the eye tracking, EEG, and skin response data, this all reveal subconscious reactions to branding stimuli. Like this enriches self-report metrics as well. Scholar practitioner bridge, like such research finds theory and sharpens managerial prescription. Like this close or shortens the gaps. And for the conclusion, I would like to conclude that in a summary first, like authentic, strategically aligned employer, branding measurably boost talent attraction, like especially when labor market scarcity and strong corporate reputation amplify its reach. And the caution should be taken here is that if employer is making any promises, it that should be matched with reality. So you can't Photoshop a culture. And finally, I would like to thank you for providing me with such an opportunity to conduct a research on such a topic or a domain. And that's it. And thank you for your time, Professor.